First, Peter Strzok. Now the House Judiciary Committee wants to question former Deputy Attorney General Bruce Ohr and others in the Russia probe. Subpoenas could come as early as today. My next guest is suing for documents involving Ohr and others. Tom Fitton is the president of Judicial Watch. He joins me now. Tom, good to see you.
Hey, Trish. How are you?
What do you think might be there? What is your concern surrounding Ohr?
Well, it's Ohr's communications with Fusion GPS, who was hired by the Clinton campaign and the Democratic National Committee to, quote, investigate Trump. They came up with the dossier authored by Christopher Steele. Ohr's problem was he involved himself in that investigation, and his wife was hired by Fusion GPS, Nellie Ohr. So we've been asking for documents and having to sue repeatedly on these very issues. And we just had to file yet another lawsuit to get this basic information about what Ohr was up to with Fusion GPS and Steele. So you've got to include Peter Strzok, who had this anti-Trump agenda that included having an insurance policy and wanting to stop Trump. You have Bruce Ohr, whose wife worked at Fusion GPS, the Clinton campaign vendor. You had Christopher Steele, who another Judicial Watch lawsuit showed the FBI deemed not to be a suitable confidential human source, but who, according to documents leaked to Congress this week, show that Ohr was meeting with repeatedly to launder his information back into the FBI. It's an unholy, corrupt mess over at DOJ and FBI, the way Steele was handled. Ohr's at the center of it. Strzok, Ohr, Congress is on the right track. And finally, asking some of these people questions. It's been too long.
Yeah, it certainly seems pretty incestuous here. I mean, given the FBI, given Fusion GPS, and then you get over to this British spy who went and solicited information from his Russian contacts. Let me ask you something, Tom. Do you think there's any chance that Vladimir Putin might have known this was all going on? I mean, if you want to use the greatest thing in our society against us, which is the openness of our society, maybe you're able to do that in a way that really undermines our faith in our institutions.
Well, it looks like Steele may have been using Russia-linked sources to drum up this salacious and unverified dossier targeting Trump. And why were the Russians trying to make Trump look bad? Were they trying to hold something over Trump in order to get him to do things? Why wasn't Trump warned about this prior to his being elected to the presidency? You know, look at the way they treated President Trump with Dianne Feinstein.
No, I mean, it's a really good comparison, right? They went and warned her, and they told her, hey, we think you may have a spy among your staff members, and she was able to deal with that, as opposed to in this situation. Then the government just starts spying on the campaign. So certainly not the same kind of treatment. Let me ask you this, Tom. What are you trying to get from the DOJ?
The Clinton campaign was the vehicle for the Russians to intimidate Trump and to try to make Trump miserable.
What are you trying to get from the DOJ? What specific documents are you looking for?
We're looking for communications between Ohr, his wife, Fusion GPS, and Christopher Steele. And you've got to ask all different offices in the Justice Department, and just to get, essentially, if you're pursuing one topic, you sometimes have to file multiple Freedom of Information Act requests and lawsuits. And the problem with this Justice Department is you can't get any answers, you can't get any documents without a lawsuit. And we've had to file more lawsuits against this Justice Department, I think, than any previous Justice Department that we've had.
I know you've been very busy filing away, so keep it up, because Americans need information. Thank you, Tom Fitton. Good to see you.
You're welcome.